In all seriousness, I wish this was satire, but it's not. Hey guys, it's Robin and welcome to the Science of Self-Care. On this channel, we talk about health science, we talk about life philosophy, and we do a whole lot of self-care experimentation. Today's video is going to be a little bit different. I'm currently in the process of moving into a home after almost 2 years of being nomadic. So I wanted to take you along on my journey as I create a space that is supporting my mental and physical health and also that brings me joy. A major way that we can set ourselves up for success on our health journey is consciously crafting the space around us. The environments where we spend the most time are greatly going to impact our behavior, even our mental health. So this video is really just an occasion to consciously think about how you're crafting the spaces around yourself, as I am consciously doing that myself right now. What do I want out of my home? Which behaviors would I like this home to support? I've divided this video into 2 parts. Part 1 will really be about my healthy home philosophy, the things that I consider as I'm building this nest that I will be spending a lot of time in. I won't be mentioning any sort of products, so if you are very sick of the consumerist society in which we live, which I can fully understand and relate to, then part 1 will be for you. Part 2 will be where we're actually going to go around my house and I'm going to share some of my favorite products and devices and things that are supporting my health journey. This part will be for you if you are shopping around for yourself, if you like to watch videos with products in it, which I also like to do. You know, I'm a complete hypocrite. I'm also over it, but I also love it. So that's part 2. That's why this is divided. You can pick your own adventure. This home space that I'm building is largely a work in progress. I'm still missing a lot of furniture, but it already feels very much like a home and a nest that I want to spend time in and I'd love to share. Enough chit-chatting from me though. Let's get straight into this video. Part 1, my healthy home philosophy. A home should be a place that supports the way you want to live, whatever healthy living means to you. Your environment can either support you in that healthy living or be a source of friction. If you've read Atomic Habits, you'll know what I mean by this, but we're just setting ourselves up for success, making the healthy habits as easy as possible. For example, my living room has no television and it never will have a television, and this doesn't mean that I never watch a show or a movie, but I just don't want it to be the focal point of spending time in my living room. I actually want my living room to be a place where I can read, where I can dance, where I can do things offline. If I do want to go online, I actually do that in my office space, and I'll often even do that while I'm walking on my walking treadmill desk. By assigning these different tasks to different areas, it makes it very effortless for me to then sit down in my living room and to not spend time watching TV because there is no TV, and instead pick up a book because there's a pile of books right there. So these are the kinds of things that you can just think about as you create a space. Which habits do you want to support and which do you want to make perhaps a little bit harder? Another thing that makes me very happy is nature. So in my own home, I really want to bring those natural elements, from the coloring to the textures. I have a lot of woven baskets, linens, plants, things that bring the outdoors in. Even the tiling in my dining room really makes it feel like I'm eating in a greenhouse rather than just a dining room, and that brings me so much joy. I live in this space with my fiance, but I spend a lot of time in it alone, and it's about creating a haven for my introverted brain to do its best work and to be in touch with itself. Those are some features that bring me a lot of joy. They may be entirely different from the features of a home that bring you joy, and I think the point is to really just consciously think about what brings you joy and have those activities reflected in your space, or at least made possible in your space. Another important part of my own nesting philosophy is to be patient and be picky. I think when you move into a new space, in my case, you're very eager to fill it up with stuff, and you also literally need some things to just live. But if you can be a little bit slower and more patient, then not only will your budget thank you, because you will be able to collect things over time and kind of spread the costs, but you'll also be able to collect better things and you'll start to accumulate an aesthetic vibe around your home that is really reflective of your taste. I once spoke with an interior designer who told me that if you want to create a really eclectic and cohesive look to your home that represents you to your core, that you should be very picky and only bring in things into your home that speak to your heart, that really move you in some way. Even if these things may not really make sense as individual items, once you bring them all together, it will be cohesive because these are all items that speak to you as an individual, and that creates a very unique style that still feels cohesive. I have no idea if that's correct or not. I'm not an interior designer, but I did think it was an interesting philosophy, and as a little bit more of a minimalist, I really like this philosophy of being very picky about the things I bring into my home so that when I do bring them in, they have meaning, they have purpose, they bring me joy. Marie Kondo, I think we all know that. Then in the end, your home effortlessly, slowly over time becomes this place that is just your happy space. Some of this might be very obvious to a lot of you, but as someone who's been traveling around for years, and I lived a decade in Europe, so I completely sold all my things. As I'm building a new home, these are things I'm consciously thinking about. And I think patience and pickiness are a really big part of creating a space that makes you happy. And if there are any activities that you'd like to incorporate more into your life, how can you start to plant those seeds around your house today? That not only helps you lower the friction to actually doing those different activities and behaviors, but it also helps you to start to absorb those activities into your identity, and that will make the activity a lot more sticky. But now that we've discussed the thought process behind building a home, now let's get into the fun part. Going around my house and seeing what sort of things I've collected so far. Part 2, home tour and knickknacks that I love. First, let's talk clean water. This water filter uses both chemical and physical filtration to filter out chlorine, lead, rust, microplastics. It's actually by a skincare company, and it's made to help soften water for sensitive skin. But I put it in my kitchen so that I can also filter the water that I use for cooking. Very convenient and much easier than having a Brita filter. So I'm very, very happy with this. This is my little matcha corner. More than having a specific matcha whisk, I feel like the key to making a delicious matcha is to not burn it, and that means using water that is not above 80 degrees Celsius. So this water kettle allows me to set the exact temperature. This is the COVID painting, the painting my fiance made of me that he started. It's unfinished, which I actually love about it. Kind of matches the blue and the wood in this house. I like personally having art that is made by people I know or love, or was created for free, or has some personal meaning. Also, the pictures on my fridge. You know, this is a picture of Paris. Don't look at that, two naked booties. This is a picture that I took on my first trip with my fiance, and it is kind of cliche and looks like a stock image, but the fact that I took it and it was a meaningful trip just makes it that much more special. This is also from a Dutch artist who I really like. His art is really cool, and I've kept his business card. This is me with my sister. My little sister, she is just the cutest ever. There's a little note, handwritten note. You guys know how much I love handwriting. So I think these little touches can make a home feel very personal, and it doesn't have to cost a lot. These are some little cookie cutters that say welkom in Dutch, because I'm half Dutch. But one thing you'll notice though is that there's no vent above my stove, which is very unhealthy in terms of air quality. So I have this little portable air purifier that I can move around my house. It's a desktop air purifier, but I actually use it mainly in the kitchen to make sure the air is as clean as it can be. Ultimately, I do want to get a vent, but that's just not the reality right now. The fact that there's no vent has made me do more baking. That has been fun. Speaking of, I don't usually ever use cookbooks, but if I were to ever create a cookbook, it would be something like this, Scrappy Cooking. It's just filled with the most beautiful recipes. There's a Dutch word, overzichtelijk. Sometimes I forget English words, but no waste noodles. You know, it'll just have all of these healthy recipes that ensure you are not wasting things, using leftovers. I think it's a really beautiful cookbook. So this is, again, not sponsored. I just had to shout out this cookbook. So planning to do a lot more baking from Plant U. This is the very early stages of our library. We do not have many books at all, but hopefully this will all be full very soon. And I have to go over here. This is just, you guys, I genuinely cannot believe that over 100,000 of you are part of this community. It's made my life, and nothing makes me happier than connecting with you guys. And I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. I feel like I'm a better human and a nicer human because I get to connect with so many of you. So yeah, moving on. This living room is definitely the room that has not been planned yet. So if you guys have any crazy ideas, I would love to know. But the most important thing is that this room stays very danceable. I love to dance. My fiance and I love to dance, just the two of us, but it would be great to have people over and dance. I love to dance by myself. So I want to keep this very open, but right now it's not a living room yet. But we do have something very important here, another air purifier. This one I usually store behind the couch, but I love it's so light. You can kind of put it around wherever. It's just very, very convenient to have fresh air, and I really notice the difference in the way it feels and smells in here. So let's vibe. This is one of my favorite things in my whole house. Might be a little bit dirty because I'm using it at least once a day. My fiance also uses it at least once a day. Everyone who comes over, my sister visited me, she used it, loved it. For those of you who have followed my previous vibration plate video, you know that a second vibration plate video is coming very soon, but I'm just so obsessed with these vibration plates. Let's try it out. So we're gonna turn it on, and it has these 3 different ways that it vibrates. It goes up and down, side to side, and oscillating. I like to do all 3. Can you hear in my voice that I'm vibrating? Can do some squats. I have a kettlebell too, 1 second. Can do some chair poses. You can also dance. I think it comes with speakers. Dance, 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 party, dance, party. These light bulbs change colors. It's in party mode. The amazing thing about a vibration plate is that even if you don't feel like working out, you will always feel like vibing. There are many other versions that are quite a bit cheaper. I would recommend getting something from Life Pro. I feel like they are the vibration plate experts. So this is my dance party living room that is still under construction. Next, let's move on to my favorite room in the house, which is the dining room. I always wanted a dining room with a wooden table because at my grandmother's house, she had a big house with many living rooms, but people were always gathered around the kitchen table, which was this old wooden table where she fed her 6 children, and she makes everything from scratch, and it just has such a homey feel. I love the idea of just living at the dining room table. It just reminds me of family. So I love that I found this beautiful second-hand table that also has benches because it gives a little bit more of an outdoorsy, childlike picnic feel. Somehow it feels cozy and gezellig, important Dutch word everyone should know. It feels a little more casual and playful. There's also a skylight right here. So this area really makes me happy, and it's probably my favorite area of my home. I hope to enjoy many more beautiful meals here. So this corner over here is a bit of a work in progress. I don't actually like to collect too many things. I want to be able to move around in my house. So I'm not really sure what's gonna happen with this space yet, but I have my plant babies. I think plants always add so much happiness, warmth, and life to a space, especially someone like me who doesn't like to have a lot of color just because I feel like it's mentally overwhelming, overstimulating, and I get sick of a lot of colors. You can see there's a lot of whites and beiges around, so plants are my pop of color. I definitely want to get a lot more plants. It would be so cool if this space felt like a little greenhouse. We have this pot and this pot. I'm still kind of figuring out what I would like to go where, but it's hard I don't think you can have too many plants. Another way to get plant matter for free is to ask your friends for cuttings of plants. Many plants are very easy to cultivate by just getting little cuttings of the leaves. Here are some varieties that work really well with cuttings. If you have any friends that own any of these plants, ask them if you can take a little bit, and then you have a little free baby plant that also reminds you of your friend. It's perfect. I almost forgot to show you the sunscreen station. Guys, this is SPF Central. Most of these are mineral sunscreens because I only wear mineral sunscreen on my face. But I also have one chemical sunscreen that I use for my body. I'm considering making a whole video about sunscreen because I have tried so many. Here's some sunscreen sticks. I'm very pale. My Dutch pale jeans need protection, so that's the sunscreen station right by the front door. Ready to go. Also have the hat station. I have so many sun hats. This sun hat, you guys always ask me, I have 3 of the same kinds. I got it at TJ Maxx and then I just bought more on Poshmark because it is a very handy sun hat, but I don't think they make it anymore, or I don't know how to buy it, but you can see it's 9 West. It comes with a little bow on it, which I cut off. It has a very large brim, so I think you can still get them on eBay and Poshmark, but the brand is 9 West. 9 West has a lot of different sun hats. They feel good quality, they're affordable, so I definitely recommend checking them out. One more thing I have in this closet, yoga mat. I have this right by the door so that it's very easy and quick for me to go to yoga. I usually go to yoga about 4 to 5 times a week. This is again setting yourself up for success by making the things you need accessible in this closet full of hats. Let's close that. While I'm wearing this hat, let's take a little moment to enjoy a matcha out here in the sun. The perfect pick-me-up. This is actually half matcha, half barley grass powder, which I really love. It's a bit of an acquired taste, but it makes me feel amazing. And you have to get the barley grass from New Zealand that's really bright and green. A lot of barley grass that I've ordered on Amazon has been not good, but this one is so bright and green and full of antioxidants. While we are out here, I'm actually gonna share the sponsor of today's video, which is Schedule 35. This is probably my favorite sponsor of all time. I've talked about this before on my channel, but psilocybin microdosing is probably one of the most effective things that I've done for my mental health in my entire life. So I'm very, very excited to have discovered Schedule 35. Schedule 35 ships high quality psilocybin mushroom products straight to your door across North America. It's completely legal, it's well dosed and regulated, and these products are just so good. I'm a huge fan of their capsules specifically because it makes microdosing very, very simple and easy to control. They also have lovely tea blends and chocolates, all of which come in a variety of flavors and doses. My favorite doses are the 100 milligram and 200 milligram doses. Low doses of psilocybin are great to take when I want to be productive or when I really want to get in touch with my creativity. For me, those benefits really materialize as reduced anxiety, calmer, happier state of mind. I feel like I'm more in touch with the childlike self that I used to be. It's so much easier to be very present. I highly recommend that you read the book How to Change Your Mind, or check out my video on psilocybin microdosing, and definitely check out Schedule 35 if you're interested in this topic. Happy to answer any questions in the comments, and also happy to do a microdose video, like microdose with me for a day or something. Just throwing it out there. Anyways, thank you Schedule 35 for sponsoring this video. Now let's get back inside and continue this home tour. So let's make a little detour to the sauna. I am so grateful to have a sauna here. It's kind of mind-blowing. But if I didn't have this, I would probably invest in a sauna space lamp. I have been eyeing their stuff for a while. This is not sponsored. I just tried one of their lamps at a conference and I really fell in love. So if you are in the market for a home sauna solution, then I would definitely check out their stuff. Okay, the other area where I spend a lot of time is my treadmill desk. Maybe it looks kind of confusing. I have a regular desk here, but then I have this foldable table that I can put my laptop on. I can hide this all, or I can take it out, and it's very convenient. I love walking and working, or even walking and watching a movie. This one I bought from Amazon and it's actually quite affordable and I use it very heavily. It has only been a few months, but so far it's doing really well. So it's probably a little noisier than a really nice one, but I've had calls on it. I've talked to people on the phone and they don't seem to mind. For anyone who's a little bit skeptical about walking and working, I would try watching things first, watching a movie, watching some YouTube videos. This is a great investment. For the price I paid, it's doing an incredible job at keeping me happy every single day. And it has wheels, so it's movable. I'm just gonna turn it off now. And then I can move my computer down here. So if I feel like sitting for a while, I just fold up. That's the treadmill desk all folded up. And that is the desk setup. Now we're in the bedroom. Something I found recently that I love in Japan is this little, I would call it a diffusion rock. You put essential oils on it and it just, oh, it smells like eucalyptus. I have these air plants. I like low maintenance things, so if flowers you always have to change out, but if you dry your flowers you can have a little slice of nature in your home that is zero maintenance. This is some dried baby's breath. And then you have this little peaceful zen corner and my laundry, which is all black because most of my closet is black. As I mentioned, colors sometimes I find very overstimulating. I just get a lot of black things, not even because I think it looks good, but because it's calming for my brain and I don't get sick of things, so I can own a black shirt for 10 years and I'll never get sick of it. Here's my little side of the bed, which contains some important things. Firstly, tape. I tape my mouth every single night. Mouth taping at night has been a game changer for me. I have a video on it. I made this video when I had 100 subscribers and it's actually a terrible video, but I kind of want to make another video on mouth tape that's a little bit more refined and well researched. I've been honestly using Scotch tape as my mouth tape, which is probably not the best choice because there is certain adhesive here that's not made for skin, but it just stays on so well. I love it. You can also use micropore tape or medical tape or mouth tape that you can order on Amazon. I'll link a few options down below, but mouth taping helps me continue to breathe through my nose through the evening. I wake up rested. I don't have a sore throat. I'm not as puffy. Everywhere I go, I mouth tape. I also journal every single night before bed, and I have a specific prompt. Basically, I start off with a gratitude list. I follow it with a future gratitude list, and then I have a bunch of, I guess, mottos that I repeat. And I've been doing this for a few years now, and it is so wild how things that I've written down in here have just completely come true for me. So it's just an amazing way to clarify your goals, to get used to the reality that you're hoping to build. It's a fun and exciting thing to do before bed because then I just sort of go into a deep sleep thinking about these very exciting goals and dreams. It's a practice I love so much. I keep my journal at the ready so that I'm always doing this as much as I can almost every day. Another thing I always bring with me whenever I travel is a silk pillowcase because it makes such a big difference for my hair. It keeps it from getting super frizzy. I have naturally curly hair, so it helps maintain those curls. My hair right now is a little blown out, so you can't really tell, but I usually sleep on my back, but sometimes I'll roll a little bit. It's nice to have a material on your pillow that is antimicrobial naturally, which silk is. I also always have a white pillowcase because I do something called face basting. I talked about this in my skincare routine, but I essentially use zinc oxide cream as a mask in the evenings, and white on white is not really gonna stain. I do try to sleep on my back though. I've trained myself to sleep like a mummy. Moving into the bathroom, I don't know if there's anything interesting in here. Speaking of dried plants, this is just some fresh eucalyptus I bought at Trader Joe's for a few dollars, and now I've been drying it. Dried eucalyptus at the local plant store near my house is ridiculously expensive, and here I've now almost dried a complete bouquet, and it just smells so good when there's eucalyptus hanging in your bathroom. While it was drying, it was smelling so good. I'll probably put this in a vase and then start drying a new fresh batch of eucalyptus. This is a giant bottle of castor oil. It seems like everyone on the internet is currently obsessed with castor oil. I do love it and have been using it for many years. I put it in my eyebrows, but I've also been experimenting putting it in different places, even under my eyes a little bit. I'm not sure how I feel about that yet. It's nice to have a giant bottle at the ready for when I go to bed. Definitely will help your hair grow if you're looking to grow your eyebrows. There's nothing too interesting in this corner. I love cleansing my skin in the shower because it just gives you an extra deep steam cleanse and your pores are open. So I'll first use this cleansing balm by Beauty of Joseon, followed by this really gentle cleanser by Ven. It's a really good one. And then I will use this guy to actually cleanse my body. This is the Boost Enzymatic Cleanser and Mask, and I don't use this for my face because it has citrus and fragrance in it, which my skin doesn't do well with on my face, but my body really likes this, especially if you get any acne on your back. I feel like this is a great cleansing option. I do want to try to get a water purifier for the shower because apparently that's supposed to be very good for your hair and your skin, but for now we just have the good old-fashioned shower head. And that is my very plain and simple bathroom. I like keeping things minimal. And then this is another area of the house that definitely needs some attention. Probably I'm gonna return this mirror. My fiance hates it. It's one of these very trendy asymmetrical mirrors, and he says it looks like an egg. It does look like an egg, but for now it's doing its job. Ultimately, I'd love to do something cool with this wall with a mirror, but for now, it is my collection of PR things that I've been sent. As you can see, there is a lot of skincare in here, and I'm just one human. I cannot possibly use all of this skincare. A lot of it is really amazing Korean skincare. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually going to create two kind of gift baskets as a giveaway of amazing brand new Korean skincare that I'm just not able to test, or some of these products like this retinol eye serum by Beauty of Joseon I've used and loved, but I just have multiple and I'd rather give it to someone out there who doesn't get a bunch of free stuff. Yeah, it's wild. I've been getting a lot of free things, especially skincare, since making the skincare video. But a lot of this is just amazing and I'd love to give it to two of you. If you would like to enter this skincare giveaway, comment down below using a heart emoji, whatever color of heart emoji you like, and then share one lesson that you've learned so far in 2024. You don't have to be a subscriber to this channel, just share your wisdom and I will enter you into this largely Korean, but not only Korean skincare giveaway. This is my, oh hey, this mask is actually charging. It looks crazy, but the mask is charging. This is usually where I keep my red light therapy devices. It's a little bit messy, but I have lots of red light therapy devices. I am such a big fan of red light therapy, and I actually have a coming video that is going to be comparing 4 different red light therapy masks. So if you are in the market for a red light therapy mask, definitely wait for that video. I have been blabbing on and on for far too long. I want to hear from you guys. Please share your tips, tricks, routines, anything related to your healthy home that you've incorporated into your life. I love learning from you guys, and my favorite part of YouTube is really the comment section. So if you have any thoughts on how I need to decorate this house and make it a little more homey, I'm open to it. It's still a little bit bare and it's a work in progress. And lastly, one more thank you for everyone who's part of this community. It's mind-blowing and I'm so grateful and I appreciate you so much. And I feel like I'm getting emotional, but I just genuinely love connecting with you guys and doing what I'm doing, just telling these little self-care stories. So thanks for being here. I appreciate you and I look forward to seeing you next time.